Oh, sir.
Namaste, friends. Welcome.
Namaste, sir.
How are you, Sabriji?
Fine, sir. How are you, sir? We are all looking for the bottom.
We
Bottom
have
of
to
the
be patient. You have to be patient. Every day, if you look at the markets as an investor,
yeah.
traders should look at the markets every day, not investors.
Sir, but it has been for 5-6 months. It has been going down. So, well,
But all the good shares will come back. Just a matter of time. All the good shares make news highs actually. You were asking something about Larsen Toubro. What was it in this? What was your question? I sent you a message also.
yeah, I did not actually understand the message. That's Larsen and Toubro is having a very low ROE. By the same time, you are also saying it is a defensive stock, but it can be used as a defensive stock, even though.
But I will prefer to avoid it actually. That's it.
Yeah.
Just avoid it. That's it. Sometimes people buy, to make because it doesn't move up. Like people buy ITC, doesn't move up, doesn't go down.
Yes.
So sometimes I'm going to say as fund managers just to put the money, they put the money there. That's it. Because they know that the share will not go down, the share will not go up.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
That is what I was saying. Anybody else has any?
Yeah. Hello,
Yes,
sir.
hello,
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
So I had a question on Alchem Laboratories. I was just studying the stock the way you guided day before yesterday. So obviously ROE has gone down, it seems, because I think there's a degrowth in profit as well, but still profits are positive. And QBS is great. It's 17 by 22. AGS is around 10 because the numbers are not doing great. So how should we see this stock?
Which stock is this?
Alchem Laboratories.
Okay, Alchem Laboratories.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can just put Alchem on the screen. It has shown the highest sales in last 10 years.
Yes.
Profit. So what is your question?
So the profit has not grown the way it was growing in the past. Like it's been going at a 40% rate, 48% rate, but now this year it has grown at 4.7% only.
Pharma companies, are very, very competitive. The margins are very low. So there is always a challenge, but comparatively it has done quite well actually. Still shown a very high profits. And March maybe they did some adjustment. This is adjusted profit, right, Vikash? Yeah, should not be a problem. See, we have to see what was the reason of this profit degrowth. But it's not a very big issue per se. Vikash, can we show the details why the profit is degrowth?
Yes, sir, Rupni.
Let's see the comparison of last year. One side, just let me see the quarterly results. EBITDA is same, net profit is reduced. Why did the net profit reduce? We have to understand, because just check now, why did the net profit reduce? Go to the details. Quarter. The year ended.
The figures are in million. So we'll divide by
Employee expenses have increased. 300 crore employee expenses have increased. When you go down, then what has increased is the taxation has increased.
They have an exceptional item after PBT.
Exceptional item is already adjusted because, right? 120 go down.
yeah.
Go down because even. क्या था profits? एक बार we got just go back to the website and then come back here. क्या था एक बार?
1660.58 जो हम लोग के समरी में लिखा हुआ है 2022 का
1660.58.
0.58.
Yeah. Now, okay, go back, Vikas. एक बार go back there. Here is 1660, 457 plus 347 comes to C60. Point number 10. But March to March क्यों कम हुआ है? एक बार ऊपर जा क्या कंपेयर कर रहे हैं? Let's see the headings. Because let's see the heading. 3112 नहीं, ये वाला third column and first and third column देखना है. ठीक है, नीचे आएगा.
Cost for raw material is also increased.
This is increased. Yeah, this is the big thing. Okay, the cost of raw material is increased by
300
big
crores.
amount actually. Nahi. By 300 crores. Yeah.
300 crores. So the comparison, if you are making between this two, sorry,
The
between,
net profit, quarter net profit.
yeah, 300 crores, and then employee expenses
No, that is also increased by
65 crores, 660 crores, 58 crores, 50 crores approx. Yeah, this is 409 and this is 465, 60 crore,
yeah.
300 plus 60, 300 crores. Then again, finance cost has also increased for the company.
And the depreciation is also increased.
Depreciation has also increased. That means assets has been added.
Other expenses also increased by 100 crores. The expenses have increased clearly.
And 3,000 crore, there was sales increase. So they managed to do the...
They still managed it because the sale increased, but the expenses have drastically increased in the quarter. ठीक है, but doesn't matter much, you know. We have to wait for, you know, the share overall. See, some companies do March adjustments also. You know, those are probable adjustments also. So it doesn't look like a concern right now. Okay. So now what is your question? Now tell me, what is your question?
So that's what I wanted to understand, that how do we study these companies? So agar dip aa raha hai net profit mein, it has been increasing 40% and now it has significantly reduced, but the sales growth is going good. So how should we?
We also have to see the yearly. There is no change. Yearly is increased only.
हाँ sir, yearly में sir dip आया, like 40 हर बार 40% से increase हो रहा था profit, and इस बार सिर्फ 4% से increase हुआ है. So is it a good sign or not?
Not a good sign. It doesn't look a big concern right now. We'll have to wait for another quarter.
Got it.
Doesn't look like a concern right now.
Got it.
Yeah. Anybody else has any questions? Shall we start? Vikas, has we made the momentum presentation?
Yes, sir.
Let's start.
सर एक क्वालिटी फार्मा है उसका जरा देखिए.
We'll start the we'll see it later. No, let's start the presentation.
Okay sir.
Individual stocks में बहुत time लग जाता है. Okay, so momentum is a very important understanding that अब कोई share, जैसे भी momentum is in a downtrend because there is a downtrend, तो जितने भी weak hearted है सब बेच के निकल रहे हैं यार, बाजार में बिकना है, and they are getting out. But then again the momentum is made on the uptrend. That is why we see the AGS की market में कौन से share में बहुत interest आ रहा है, which are the shares the fund managers are buying or which they are not buying, you know. So those are very important things which we need to see. Okay, so this is how we see the momentum, you know. So momentum देखने से एक idea रखता है, तो आज हम लोग historical momentum देखेंगे कि कौन सा शेयर का लास्ट 5 साल में मोमेंटम हरदम अच्छा रहता है, कौन से सेक्टर्स का मोमेंटम आर ऑलवेज वेरी वेरी गुड. सो वंस वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट ये सब सेक्टर के मोमेंटम बहुत अच्छे रहते हैं. ओके, सो वी शुड हैव अ वेरी बिग आई ऑन दोस बिकॉज़ दे हैव अ हिस्टोरिकल मोमेंटम. ओके, सो यू शुड ऑलवेज हैव एन आइडिया कि कौन सा सेक्टर लास्ट 5 साल में हरदम तेज है, कौन से सेक्टर अच्छे परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं. So that gives you a very, very big idea of the momentum of stocks. So momentum is also an AGS कि वो beat कर रहा है कि नहीं, इससे हमारा return हरदम भरता है. So momentum से भी like ITC 8 साल से चला ही नहीं, you know, so it had good fundamentals but did not run. So then you get stuck with a bad stock. So momentum अगर चलता है, अगर उसमें अच्छा fundamentals है, that means even the fund managers are buying. And then when you catch that momentum, then you make good money. So momentum is also something which you can be aware of. इससे हमारी पैसा बनेगी, इसमें भी momentum चल रहा है ये स्टॉक में. जैसे अभी सबकी स्टॉक की momentum डाउन है. ओके, बट हिस्टोरिकली हमें देखना है कि 5 साल में कौन सा शेयर हरदम मोमेंटम दिया है. लाइक बजाज फाइनेंस ऑलवेज इज अ वेरी मोमेंटम स्टॉक. बाजार तेज होगा, आप देखिएगा बजाज फाइनेंस फिर से ऊपर भागेगा, जोर वेरी फास्ट. It is a very strong momentum. Okay, you should always study share which has a strong momentum, जो हम लोग अभी डिस्कस करें. It's a very important thing कि कौन से शेयर में मोमेंटम होता है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड विकास. तो ये जो AGS स्कोर है, ये लास्ट 20 क्वार्टर्स में वो शेयर कितने बार निफ्टी को बीट किया है मोमेंटम में. ओके, सो अगर आप ये देखेंगे अभी हाईएस्ट AGS SRF में है क्या विकास?
यस, SRF नौकरी.
सो नौकरी में भी बहुत बड़ा मोमेंटम चलता है बिकॉज दे ऑलवेज आर क्रिएटिंग, नया नया प्रोडक्ट्स लाते रहते हैं. इसमें भी बहुत बड़ी मोमेंटम, बड़ी एक्सपेंसिव, और जिसमें मोमेंटम हरदम चलेगा वो थोड़ा एक्सपेंसिव भी हो जाएगा. So I don't know how many people have SRF in their thing. अब जैसे टाटा एलेक्सी है, मैक्स 15 out of 20. डीमार्ट है 15, ब्रिगेड is a very high, Tanla, you know, लेकिन QBS बहुत विकेट का पीक है, लेकिन मोमेंटम हरदम चलता है। दैट मीन बाजार चलता है तो मोमेंटम से भी आइडिया लगता है that there is also good players into it, या कोई ना कोई शेयर को चला रहा है. So this makes a lot of money. Tanla has given a very fantastic momentum. Deepak Nitrate, Hindustan Food, Linde India, BBL. Vikas, इसको पहले large cap से करेगा क्या? Can we go as per from the Excel?
Yes, market cap shorted.
Highest से कर देना momentum. So you should always know कि कौन सा शेयर में, जैसे SRF में इतना बड़ा मोमेंटम है, उसका रिजल्ट भी बहुत पावरफुल है, तो SRF should be there, in the so momentum भी हमें देखना चाहिए. It works as a very very big factor.
Yes, large cap.
So SRF है, नौकरी है, डीमार्ट है, बजाज फाइनेंस का मोमेंटम देखिए, टाटा कंज्यूमर, इन्फी, so one of the stocks which you can definitely, Hindustan Unilever का मोमेंटम देखिए, ICICI Bank is giving a good momentum.
Should I also add price to sales here so that?
हाँ, वो भी डाल दो. बजाज फिनसर्व का मोमेंटम देखिए. Reliance always has a good momentum. So what happens is that you should have an idea कि कौन से में हरदम आपको momentum मिलता है market, and that really plays a very important role. Is it ready, Vikas?
Yes, sir, ready.
इससे आपको आइडिया लगे, जैसे SRF देखिए, लास्ट 5 साल में इसका रिटर्न 599%, लार्ज कैप स्टॉक. इस बार भी हमारे स्ट्रेटजी में है, लार्ज कैप की स्ट्रेटजी में इस बार भी है SRF, सो इट्स अ वेरी पावरफुल स्टॉक. और अगर आप प्राइस टू सेल्स भी 5.46 ही है, महंगा भी नहीं है. अब यूजुअली नौकरी हम लोग नहीं लेते हैं बिकॉज इसका प्राइस टू सेल्स बहुत महंगा है, और अभी बहुत जोर भी गिरा है, नौकरी बहुत जोर भी गिरा है. डीमार्ट अगर आप देखेंगे, ये भी बहुत महंगा रहता है. इसका पी रेशियो, प्राइस टू सेल तो ठीक है, बट पी रेशियो बहुत महंगा है, इसलिए हम नहीं लेते. तो दीज आर 2 कंसिडरेशन, इसके कारण ही मिस हो जाता है. अब बजाज फाइनेंस फेवरेट स्टॉक है, SRF, बजाज फाइनेंस. टाटा कंज्यूमर में भी थोड़ा पी थोड़ा महंगा है, बट ये बहुत अच्छी रिटर्न दी हुई है स्टॉक. इन्फी अगर आप देखेंगे, इन्फी है, फिर हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर है, ICICI बैंक है, अडानी है तो मैं लेता ही नहीं हूँ कभी, टाइटन है, बजाज फिनसर्व है. सो दीज आर, रिलायंस है. सो 12 तक जो भी शेयर हैं, डीवीज लैब है, जो भी शेयर है 12 तक, उसमें बहुत हाई पावरफुल मोमेंटम है. मतलब दे आर द फेवरेट ऑफ द मार्केट. बाजार तेज होगा तो सबसे पहले फंड मैनेजर्स ये सब शेयर खरीदते ही. ओके, तो ये अगर हम लोग ध्यान रखते हैं मोमेंटम का, तो it's a good strategy. It's a good strategy. So SRF हुआ, नौकरी हुआ, these counters, नौकरी and डीमार्ट तो very expensive, इसलिए हम लोग नहीं लेते हैं. but SRI, Bajaj Finance, Tata Consumer is now okay also, Infi, ICICI Bank, Titan, Bajaj Finserv. इसीलिए usually हम लोग Bajaj Finserv भी रखते हैं, SRI भी. So these are some of the counters which looks very strong in momentum. Okay, so you should know that which are the top stocks in momentum. So SRF is definitely a great buy. I hope you हम लोग की strategy में भी है और आप खरीदे कि नहीं खरीदे हैं, but individually SRF जरूर रखना चाहिए. Okay, so this is how you calculate the momentum. Let's see the momentum in mid cap stocks. We'll do mid cap for you. You have an idea कि momentum बहुत strong कौन से stocks में है. जब भी बाजार तेज होती है ये हरदम रिटर्न देता है. जैसे टाटा एलेक्सी, you know, वैभव, ये वरुण बेवरेजेस है ना विकास, पूरा नाम देने से बेटर रहता है.
Okay.
लिंडे इंडिया है, दीपक नाइट्रेट है, इप्का लैब है, फाइजर है. अब जैसे इफ यू वांट टू बाय फार्मा, इप्का लैब हरदम रिटर्न देता है. तो दिस इज हाउ. फाइजर है, पीआई इंडस्ट्रीज है, एबॉट है, वो भी अच्छा रिटर्न देता है. एनीथिंग अबव 11-12 वो देखा जाता है कि दे हैव अ वेरी गुड रिटर्न मॉड्यूल.
Sir, how you are calculating momentum?
बताया ना, आप नहीं जानते हैं. कौन पूछा है क्वेश्चन?
मैं प्रकाश.
आप लोग सी देखिए, ये वाला हर स्टॉक का ऐप पे जाके ऐसा देख सकते हैं. देखिए
Yes, AGS.
ये देखिए, ये वाला है, ये कैसे होता है. देखिए निफ्टी 4% गिरा है और ये स्टॉक है कम गिरा है, तो मोमेंटम बेटर है कि नहीं इसमें?
Yes, better.
1 मिला इसको. ठीक है. अब ये वाला देखिए, यहाँ पर देखिए 20% बढ़ा है, ये बढ़ा है मार्केट, लेकिन स्टॉक सिर्फ 9% बढ़ा है, तो मोमेंटम नहीं था इसमें. तो ऐसा 20 क्वार्टर के बाद हम लोग एक नंबर निकालते हैं कि 20 क्वार्टर में 16 बार बाजार गिरता है तो कम गिरता है, बाजार बढ़ता है तो ज्यादा बढ़ता है.
Okay.
समझ में आया प्रकाश जी?
Yes, sir. Clear. Thanks.
तो हर कंपनी का आपको 20 क्वार्टर कैसे मिल जाएगा? अगर आप ऐप पे जाएंगे, हर कंपनी का ऐसे आपको 20 क्वार्टर का मिल जाएगा. एक बार दिखा भी दो, तुमको आइडिया लग जाएगा. आपने ट्रेनिंग नहीं लिया है क्या विकास जी? एकदम सिंपल ट्रेनिंग हमारे ऐप का
नहीं सर, मैं
लेना चाहिए. देखिए हर कंपनी का मोमेंटम इजी. देखिए क्लिक करेंगे, मोमेंटम मिल जाएगी आपको. ये देखिए पूरा डिटेल आ गया आपके सामने.
yes sir, understand now.
तो मोमेंटम देखना चाहिए कि कौन से शेयर हरदम बाजार में रिटर्न देते हैं. तो अगर वो शेयर में अगर हम लोग 5 साल में देखते हैं तो उसमें हमारी इनकम अच्छी होती है. मोमेंटम प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. जैसे एसआरएफ अभी हाईएस्ट मोमेंटम दे रखा है मार्केट, तो कम से कम मालूम तो होना चाहिए ना कि कौन से कंपनी हाईएस्ट रिटर्न देती है.
इसमें नहीं है. बहुत एनालिसिस बहुत अच्छा है.
So momentum is one of the factors which plays. It is one of the factors, not the only factor. 6 फैक्टर है. फिर से एक बार रिपीट कर लेते हैं. कार्ड दिखा दो एक बार.
Shailesh ji, the large cap, was there a reason there were some things which were colored in yellow? वो large cap वाला जो Excel.
वो भी मैं नाम बता रहा था ना, इसलिए येलो.
अच्छा, that's why he was just marking it.
Just marking. तो मोमेंटम ये 6 चीज. मोमेंटम इज ओनली वन. हाँ, इससे हरदम रिटर्न नहीं मिलती है, बिकॉज मोमेंटम के बाद वैल्यूएशन भी देखना पड़ता है. जैसे बहुत कंपनीज में वैल्यूएशन है, ग्रोथ भी देखना पड़ता है. सो दिस कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ फैक्टर्स मेक्स मनी फॉर यू.
We need all.
Are we clear? Not clear? इसलिए मैं बार बार I go back to this page कि please see all the 6 factors before we take a decision. Are we clear? Not clear? Okay, so let's go back to momentum. So ये लिस्ट हम लोग आपको भेज देंगे ग्रुप में. विकास 12 के ऊपर जितने भी स्टॉक्स है भेज देना ना.
Yes sir.
Okay, and small cap दिखा दे विकास. एटलीस्ट आई एम शोइंग यू कि मोमेंटम में कौन सा, ये लिस्ट भी आपको भेज दूंगा तो आपको एक आइडिया रहेगा. अब ब्रिगेड इज अ वेरी हाई मोमेंटम. अभी जैसे रियलिटी स्टॉक्स, अभी हम लोग सेक्टर भी डिस्कस करेंगे कि कौन से सेक्टर में भी मोमेंटम आया हुआ है प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी से भी. तो अगर आप ब्रिगेड देखेंगे, तांडला, हिंदुस्तान फूड, चंबल फर्टिलाइजर, सो दीज आर कंपनी जो बहुत हाई मोमेंटम देता है, वेरी वेरी हाई मोमेंटम. Okay, so if you select stocks from here, then it is always better. It is always better. Because वो stocks is the favorite of the market. You know, जब भी high momentum मिलता है, वो stock is the favorite of the market. So definitely it has a tendency to give higher returns. Okay, दूसरे stocks भी देते हैं, but ये stocks की tendency हो जाती है कि इससे अच्छी रिटर्न हमें मिल सकती है, because they are the favorites of the market. So these are some of the shares. Mastek, कल कोई पूछ रहा था, Mastek is a very good share. अंकुश जी हैं आज? नहीं, is he there? Not there. Not there. Okay, भारत रसायन है, Apcotex है, then MM Forging, Everest Canto, Phenotex Chemicals, Sunflag, Excel, Goldium. So these are some of the shares which has given very high momentum. You know, that means कहीं ना कोई बड़ा investor, कोई बड़ा fund manager ये सब share ले रहा है. You know, तो अगर आप मेरे भी देखेंगे, बहुत सारे shares देखेंगे, हम लोग momentum भी देखते हैं. बहुत usually हम लोग के shares इसलिए भी अच्छे perform करते हैं कि out of 10 scripts 7-8 will have momentum. वो ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाती है हमारे सिस्टम में.
एक क्वेश्चन है. हेलो.
हाँ बोलिए.
हाँ सर, ये बोल रहे थे ना, जैसे रेडिको खैतान है, इसका प्राइस टू सेल्स 0.84 है और रेशियो 40. सर अगर कभी भी ऐसा कोई मतलब द्वंद्व हो मन में, तो है ना क्या देखना चाहिए? मतलब
दोनों देखेंगे ना, दोनों देख के आइडिया लग जाता है. दैट मींस इसका नेट प्रॉफिट मार्जिन कम है, मतलब सेल ज्यादा है.
हाँ हाँ.
यू नो, अगर आप देखेंगे सेल्स कंपनी की बहुत ज्यादा है,
हाँ हाँ.
प्रॉफिट कम है. क्यों? क्योंकि टैक्सेस बहुत है ना अल्कोहल में.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
तो ऑब्वियसली ऐसे ही रहेगा, सभी का ऐसा रहेगा.
ओके ओके.
टैक्सेस ज्यादा है ना अल्कोहल में, इसलिए उनकी सेल्स का जो रेशियो और प्रॉफिट का रेशियो, इसलिए दोनों देखते हैं. सेल्स रेशियो भी देखते हैं, प्रॉफिट रेशियो भी देखते हैं.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
ओके, जैसे सारेगामा है, 12 का प्राइस सेल है, ऑब्वियसली नहीं लेना चाहिए, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी बहुत एक्सपेंसिव है. अभी इस भाव में भी इट्स वेरी एक्सपेंसिव सारेगामा, बट इट हैज अ ग्रेट मोमेंटम. सो इसीलिए सब फैक्टर्स देखते हुए लेते हैं, बट मोमेंटम इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी गुड फैक्टर कि शेयर चल रहा है. कि यू कैन नॉट बाय डेड शेयर्स जो नहीं चल रहा है. यू नो, सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द फैक्टर ऑल्सो टू लुक इनटू, but not the only factor. Please remember. Okay, we guys show micro cap also. with micro cap कोई अच्छा momentum दे रखा है. Small cap below 1000 crore. जैसे GSS Infotech है, वेल्सपन है, 10 वाला है, नेहार पॉली है, विकासा, विशाखा इंडस्ट्रीज, बिग ब्लॉक, ये सब में भी थोड़ी सी, दे आर ऑल स्मॉल शेयर्स, बट इसमें भी काफी मोमेंटम बना हुआ है. यू नो, 8-10 है, ओरियन प्रो है. तो अब ये स्मॉल कैप्स में जो मिनी कैप के जो शेयर्स हैं, उसमें किसमें मोमेंटम है वो भी दिख रही है कि किसमें इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा है अभी मार्केट. बट यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल इन मिनी कैप, क्योंकि बहुत बदमाशी चलता है. मिनी कैप को बदमाशी करना बहुत इजी होता है, इसलिए हम लोग मिनी कैप का स्टॉक्स अपनी स्ट्रेटेजी में नहीं देते. हम लोग एक मिनी कैप का स्ट्रेटेजी बनाने का सोच रहे हैं. जब बाजार मंदी हो जाएगी तो उस समय एक अच्छा मिनी कैप का स्ट्रेटेजी बनाने का सोच रहे हैं. अगर आएगा तो रिलीज करेंगे, बट अभी गारंटी नहीं है. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ यू सी द स्टॉक मोमेंटम. एक आइडिया लगता है कि स्टॉक में कोई मोमेंटम है कि नहीं, एंड दैट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द स्टॉक्स अगर आप देखेंगे कि कौन सा क्या किया विकास इसको,
सेक्टर एवरेज एजीएस कि क्या है, सेक्टर के एवरेज एजीएस,
एजीएस मतलब इंश्योरेंस का जो एजीएस है सबसे हाई चल रहा है अभी
बिकॉज ऑफ बजाज फिनसर्व।
सेक्टर, बट उसमें 4 ही स्टॉक है। बट लेट्स सी द रिटर्न्स दिखाते हैं ना, रिटर्न से करते हैं। आईटी का क्या है कि लास्ट 2 साल में 300% का रिटर्न आ गया, और अगर देखेंगे तो 240 हो गया है 5 साल में। बट अगर आप केमिकल देखेंगे तो केमिकल अगर आप लास्ट 2 साल में 211 दिया है, 172 है। तो अगर आईटी, पैकेजिंग, केमिकल, financial holding has been done well because of the broking industry. So कौन से सेक्टर अभी बहुत हाई रिटर्न, सबसे वीकेस्ट सेक्टर कौन सा है जहां पर पैसा बनना बहुत मुश्किल है? नीचे देखिए, नीचे से बैंक्स, पीएसयू। आई थिंक सो सर्टेन पीपल आर देयर जो लास्ट टाइम तो थे जो बहुत पीएसयू के फेवरेट थे। पीएसयू आर द वर्स्ट रिटर्न गिवर्स। हाँ, यू शुड नेवर बाय पीएसयू स्टॉक्स। मैं पहले भी बोल चुका हूँ, और हम लोग लिटरली अवॉइड ही करते हैं पीएसयू स्टॉक। कभी कोई एक स्टॉक दे दिया तो दे दिया, बट वी अवॉइड पीएसयू स्टॉक्स। कंस्ट्रक्शन, बैंक्स, अगर आप नीचे से देखेंगे that these are the lowest return givers actually. Highest return givers अलग होते हैं। Chemical has been a very steady return giver, very steady return giver. Okay, so आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन सा रिटर्न्स अच्छा होता है, तो जिससे हमें आइडिया लगती है। Again, this is not only the factor, but you get an idea कि कहां पर अभी पैसा बन रहा है, कहां पैसा नहीं बन रहा है।
The telecom has given 332% compared to 5-year return.
हाँ, टेलीकॉम अभी 16 स्टॉक अच्छा दिया है रिटर्न अभी से, बट पहले
Very surprising.
नहीं था, पहले नहीं था, बट अभी अच्छा रिटर्न दिया है। बट इसमें स्टॉक्स भी 16 ही है, सो मे बी 1 और 2 स्टॉक्स ही अपने को देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन से स्टॉक सबसे ज्यादा रिटर्न दिए। ओके, तो अगर आप देखेंगे नीचे से, अगर आप देखेंगे कि कौन से सेक्टर्स परफॉर्म करते हैं, कौन से सेक्टर नहीं परफॉर्म करते हैं। बट ये क्या होता है कि विकास अपने पास ईयर वाइज भी है क्या?
ऐप में है ना, एक बार देख लेता है।
नहीं, ऐप में शायद ईयर वाइज नहीं, वो भी शायद 5, वो भी पूरा 5 साल का ले लेता है। डू वी हैव ईयर वाइज?
नो, नीड टू चेक, मतलब अलग से बनाना है,
मतलब फाइनेंशियल ईयर वाइज।
फाइनेंशियल ईयर वाइज एक बार देख लेता है। ऐप में मेरे को रिमेंबर कि अपने दिए थे, अगर हटवाए नहीं तो एक बार
देखो, जस्ट ऐप में अगर दिए हैं तो दिखाते हैं।
ये
हाँ, ईयरली परफॉर्मेंस है ना।
या 18-19।
तो देखिए 18-19 में 4 साल का है क्या?
4 साल, हाँ।
18-19 में देखिए, बैंक्स, प्राइवेट होल्डिंग, शुगर, फार्मा, ऑयल एंड गैस, कंज्यूमर सर्विसेज, बैंक्स had given good return for that 1 year. ओके, 19-20 करिए, ये भी आप देख सकते हैं। 19-20 में इंश्योरेंस, हेल्थ केयर, फार्मा, केमिकल, एफएमसीजी, पावर had given, fertilizer had given the highest returns. 2021 pharma, telecom, IT, metals, packaging, chemical, so these had given the highest returns. And 21-22, so every year the sector also changes. It is not that every year same रहता है। ओके, तो एक 5 साल का सेक्टर है, इंडिविजुअल आपको ईयर वाइज भी देखना पड़ेगा। बट लेट्स सी द इंडिविजुअल, बिकॉज़ इसको कैन वी टेक दिस ऑन अ एक्सेल शीट एंड शो द एवरी ईयर का टॉप 10 मार्क करके वैसे दिखाते हैं ना।
आई विल ट्राई।
अगर भरोसा है तो देखो। I'll show you something very interesting, आपको मजा आएगा।
Yeah, it's okay, happening. 1 minute.
Is it interesting, the study of momentum? Is it interesting?
Yes, sir.
This time, we are really focusing on making the
Yes, sir.
basics very strong, Basic strong ho jayega, understanding all the 6 pointers. Then the ability to really
Can I ask a couple of things, Shailesh ji?
yes, Karthik, boliye.
मैं अपने इससे सारी strategy देख रहा था, and I was also looking at our QBS screen. So some of the stocks I found that there was a negative free cash flow. So that is point one. Some of the stocks I found the P was reasonably high. Like for example, Blue Dart was 48. और जैसे कि चंबल था, आरती इंडस्ट्रीज में I found negative FCF. So how should we make? बाकी सारे parameters बढ़िया है, AGS अच्छा है, QBS बढ़िया है, profit growth अच्छा है, ROE बढ़िया है, everything is good. But so there were lots of this. I mean, I was just going through the whole thing. I made a lot of, and Pidilite, for example. See, I've been holding Pidilite forever. But last time we हमने बात किया था. But Pidilite, the P is at 88 right now. Scary levels. But 88 is like insane. But having said that, some of the other stocks also they are in that kind of a range. Even for example, Bajaj Finserv, जो हमने अभी बात किया 5 मिनट पहले. The ROE is 12, it's actually dropped down quite significantly, and the P is at 41, but the stock is super strong and the AGS is very strong. So I just was making some observations. So ये high P का क्या करें और negative free cash flow को कैसे किस तरह से read करें?
That is the challenge actually.
So,
that is what you see is that out of the 6 factors or out of the 5 factors, some have 4. You will rarely find all 5. It's very difficult to find. That is like a great stock.
Yeah, of
but
course.
Sometimes you have to choose 4 factors are there.
Correct.
And then you take a call.
So अगर free cash flow negative है तो इसका मतलब हो गया कि इस बार कुछ factory डाल दिया नया या कुछ major expenditure कर दिया. This is what I inferred from this kind of a thing. And then how do I sort of make peace with? मतलब बहुत तकलीफ होती है ये Pidilite का 88p देके Asian Paint का 90p होता है. They are always there only. वहीं पे घूमते हैं.
क्या है ना ये this also I think so Saurav Mukherjee वो खरीद के अब थोड़ा शांत हुआ है. They were at 120 to 130 चला गया था P.
जी okay.
अब तो थोड़ा मार्केट गिरा है तो थोड़ा बेटर हुआ है P सब.
हाँ exactly.
But I think so it was just getting money and putting in these 8-9 stocks. इसीलिए they had, that is why the market really crashed. Price to sales of Bajaj Finance it took to 15.
Right.
Now it is stabilizing. So obviously there are 2 calls where you focus on the growth. See I'll tell you his thought process is these companies have great cash flows and these companies are growing and they are the top market share in the country. So I don't care about the P. That's what his thought process is.
That's his thought process, correct. Yes.
He doesn't care about the P. But there is another thought process that if you find something like an SRF company which is growing even better and at a lower P,
right,
and the momentum is so high, I'll prefer an SRF.
Naturally, of course. So that's what even I concluded कि कहीं पे आप ये जो अपने list में strategies में आए हैं, maybe we gave more credence to the fact that ROE बहुत बढ़िया था या sales growth बहुत अच्छा हुआ था and things like that. Profit growth भी अच्छा हो रहा था. So therefore maybe we chose it despite the fact that the P must have been very high. So I concluded that way. Is my thinking in line with how the strategy was made?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So what we do is when we put the combination in the system, it gives us the best combination, and we never get all the 5 factors. 5 factors is like a bonus.
It's a dream.
It's like you don't have to think, you just invest.
बिल्कुल.
तो कहीं ना कहीं compromise करना ही पड़ता है.
करेक्ट. मुझे ऐसे भी 1-2 मिले हैं जिसमें 6 के 6 फैक्टर्स गुड. तो ऐसे भी काफी सारे काफी ज्यादा नहीं सॉरी मिले थे, पर 3-4 ऐसे मिल गए थे मुझे, कहीं पे
हाँ,
लिखा
तो
था.
फिर वो those become a great buys.
Yeah.
So factors hota hai, no? These are the 4-5 factors where you look, these are it's like a diamond which has
Yeah.
different facets.
That's right.
So अगर आप देखेंगे, when you have to choose a diamond, you have to choose the color, you have to choose the cut, you have to choose the size. So it's like, stock selection is a very similar thing, You have to see the fundamentals, the growth, the momentum. So that is why it is not easy for an individual to do.
No, I think your app is the most used app in my browser every day. So.
Because it covers all the factors actually, covers the factors.
And covers it very nicely.
And it is my app is for intelligent people. I'm telling you, if people don't want to understand these factors, then they don't like me. People who are like, because सिर्फ पैसा बनाना है बस, So I've seen many people, oh, Shailesh Sharaf is making money, I'll put. अब वो Shailesh Sharaf is not making money. अरे भैया मार्केट पैसा बनाता है, मैं पैसा नहीं बनाता हूँ.
हाँ नहीं सच्ची बात है. I mean, you just know how to.
क्या हुआ जो बहुत मेरे फेवरेट थे वो सब ड्रॉप हो गए, बोले पैसा बन नहीं रहा है, तो क्या करें. So they are short-term players, they don't want to learn or they don't want to understand stock selection.
Correct.
वो बाजार तेज होगा तो they enter the market, बाजार मंदा होगा they leave the market. So they never make wealth, they never create wealth actually.
Correct.
So, but if you are invested in these shares, which has 4 or 5 factors, you know that you have picked up a good share. That you want to buy a share, what is the momentum, what is the growth, what is the ROE, and you see, यार 4-5 factor है उसमें तो मैं लेता हूँ.
And even on the quarterly basis, the whole portfolio is not getting turned around. So there are stocks that you are continuing also. At least only 40% is getting
12, 15, 20 stocks. Yeah.
वो churn rate भी उससे कम हो जाता है. So
बहुत कम हो जाता है. जैसे इस बार भी हमारे strategy में we have repeated 12 to 15 stocks are repeated from the previous one.
Yes, I noticed. I have the comparison of.
So see, we try to do as much possible,
हाँ नहीं बहुत बढ़िया है, बहुत बढ़िया.
इसका जो इंजीनियरिंग है, अगर वो आप सब स्टॉक्स में देखेंगे, आपको 4-5 फैक्टर मिलेगा. सब फैक्टर्स नहीं मिलेगा, पर आपको मिलेंगे.
That's right.
तो लेकिन वो आपको कोई ऐसा नहीं मिलेगा कि इसमें 2 ही फैक्टर है कि एक ही फैक्टर, ऐसा कोई
हाँ, एक भी ऐसा नहीं, एक भी
नहीं मिलेगा.
I went through all the list. All of them.
That is what I'm trying to see. Theoretical and making a portfolio is a different task altogether.
Yeah.
So I appreciate, that when people go through it, then they understand, कि 100% तो किसी को नहीं मिलता है यार, कोई 100% तो होता ही नहीं है.
नहीं बिल्कुल.
It's like a God sent stock that you have. और कभी-कभी क्या होता है that when the market really falls down, these great stocks become very cheap.
Very cheap.
So they actually become 100 on 100.
Yeah.
But the basis is that if you study, because Karthik ji, you also manage, I think, so big amount in mutual funds.
Yeah, mutual also, personal also, सब कुछ.
So you also, I think, so you were telling me you manage 200-300 crores. So basically, when you understand, so I've seen distributors who work with me, who we do business, they understand the concept, then they become very confident. यार ये बंदा में दम है.
Yeah.
ये सिर्फ फालतू का नहीं. तो when you get this training and you study that you know factors say, that creates a return.
The conviction factor goes up dramatically when you are, when you see all this data in front of you and it's absolutely accurate. So, and it's real time, it keeps changing also. So,
yes.
Badhiya.
So thank you, Karthik ji, for studying, because it makes a life easy.
No, absolutely. And for my own academic purpose, I went through the entire list of 59 across all the strategies just to see exactly क्या हो रहा है. फिर analysis किया, देखा कितना parameter हर चीज में match हो रहा है, etc. Of course, I took help of my team also. अकेला नहीं किया, but yeah, I mean, it was very interesting. So.
Oh, very good. So thank you, everybody listening to. He's also an intelligent person. So the stock selection is very, very profound, actually. Very profound. I'm telling you, that is why our performance are very good. Now the markets are like that. We can't do much, But if you compare what the mutual fund is losing and what we are losing, we are doing much better than mutual fund. Much better. I don't know. आपने देखा क्या Karthik ji, compared our strategy with mutual funds?
Shailesh ji, I've not really got a chance to get into the mutual funds because मैं आपका जो app है ना, I use it for my personal portfolio and a few other portfolios that I manage, which are reasonably large in size. तो मेरा काफी टाइम वो उसी में, but I will definitely get back to you on the mutual fund also.
आप देखोगे कि हम लोग के performance are much greater than mutual funds.
Absolutely.
So people who understand that market अपने हाथ में नहीं है, but stock selection ऐसा होना चाहिए that we lose little when the market falls And when the market rise, you make more money. That is the main essence actually.
Exactly.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you for understanding. This will give a confidence to others also. जो actually क्या सब sad हो गए, कोई question पूछता है, but this was one of the most boring webinars I've done in last 2 years, because the excitement इतना ज़्यादा, I remember Sabri ji was one of the most excited guys. वो भी शांत हो गए.
Now I am just looking for new nuggets. And in fact, I have sat here and gone through your app so many times. I frequently talk to even people like Vikash and others to sharpen my filtering skills. And they give me a lot of tips on how to sharpen the skills. And even today I was sitting and doing that only.
But sir, the main part is if you understand the concept, these factors, then you know that which are the main important factors which makes the price go up actually. Momentum is a very important factor, like a company like SRF. I'm telling you, when the market will go up, you'll see SRF giving fantastic return like a Bajaj Finance. Even if their ROE is low, that is one factor. I will still buy Bajaj Finance, or Bajaj Finserv, because they're really very good momentum stocks.
Yes.
So you will never get all the factors in everything, but still, if you even get 4 or 5 factors, we have done a very good job. We have done a good job. So that is how we see the stock. But I can tell you at least, the stocks which we buy, they are all super companies, and I've decided not to go into individual stocks like BCG. Unnecessarily creates panic in the people, एक स्टॉक दिलाया, इतना पैनिक हो गया ग्रुप में, मैं बोला अब दिलाना ही नहीं है किसी को स्टॉक. और ज्यादा कोई लॉस नहीं हुआ था, 20-30% था. Many people were in profits only. So we bought 110, but वो पैनिक unnecessary हो जाता. So better to buy portfolios and stick to strategies. It's better, I think, so for the people. They'll have more confidence.
Yes, and if people can learn to filter, not just the plain filters which you give, they go deeper inside and learn to filter, they can come up with excellent nuggets.
Stock selection, I think so, you have to learn all your life. It's not a, but I'm telling you, friends, taking some credit to myself, we have made it very easy.
Yes.
We have made it very, very easy. It's not very complicated now. If you really put your heads and spend some time, you can understand the concept that how stocks are selected, and you'll rarely see that you'll make mistakes.
I mean, the app also, all the features we have not fully covered. Many people still are.
Yeah, they have not spent time. They too much depend on me. Stock दे दिया, बस invest कर दिया. पैसा बन रहा है तो शैलेश शराफ मेरे गुरु है, पैसा नहीं बन रहा है तो शैलेश शराफ फालतू है. यही है. This is how it is, but that's the reality. So I take that as a pinch of salt also. It's fine. What can you do? You can't do much.
The particular button which you were explaining 2 days ago, that which was that one, high growth, low valuation stocks.
Yeah.
I started looking at it only from yesterday.
अच्छा, okay. अरे यार विकास जी, आप मेरा ऐप ही देख लो यार, कितना किताब पढ़ोगे यार. पहले मैं जो सिखा रहा हूं तो कर लो. मैं इतने सारे किताब पढ़ के आपको ऐप बना के दे रहा हूं. ये लो, सब किताब का नाम है, फोटो खींच लो, ये लीजिए. All the book names are here. You can pick up all the books are there. एक फोटो खींच लो and you buy all the books. बट इससे कुछ होने वाला है नहीं. इसका जो एसेंस है ना, वो मैं आपको दे रहा हूं. एक्चुअली लोगों को अभी भी विश्वास नहीं है. इतना एविडेंस दे दिया, इतना प्रूफ कर दिया that all of them follow the same methodology, but somehow people are still looking for new ways.
सर एक बार वापस से दिखाएंगे क्या प्लीज?
फिर से देखिए, लीजिए, फोटो खींच लीजिए ना, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर. सर ये जो लास्ट वाली बुक है ना, रामदेव अग्रवाल वाली, ये बुक तो कहीं मिल ही नहीं रही है, कहीं नहीं मिल रही है. मैंने बहुत जगह ढूंढा इसको.
अच्छा ठीक है, वो मिल जाएगा, आप ढूंढ लीजिएगा, मिल जाता है, अमेज़न ने बुक करी, मिल जाएगा।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
ओके, लेट्स कंटिन्यू टू मोमेंटम। विकास बना क्या वो वाला?
Yes.
इसको टॉप 10 करो ना एक बार। किसका हाईएस्ट स्कोर है विकास? जस्ट पुट द स्कोर एट द, सी मैंने ईयर वाइज भी किया है टू अंडरस्टैंड। So financial holding, broking houses have been doing very well because of all the new mutual funds coming in, Share India. So broking business has been doing very well. They have done well. Then pharma has done well. They are always have given good returns. So Abbott, Ipca Lab.
Yes.
Definitely, if you see from down, realty has never done well. Automobiles, paper, construction, textiles. You know, if you see all these things have only done once well, you know, comparatively in the top 10 in a financial year. And financial holding, pharma, sugar, healthcare services, IT, consumer goods, fertilizer, agrochemical. So these have always done, they have always been the top 10. And banks, if you see the below 1 or 0, they have done only once, well, once only in 4 years. You know, so if you study financial holding, pharma, sugar, healthcare, consumer good, fertilizer, chemical, metal, cement, telecom, power, packaging, you know, banks private is also done once. So if you can, whenever you understand that what sectors are always in the top 10, you know, so this also makes a huge difference. So definitely we should have shares from financial holding. We should have from pharma, healthcare, IT, consumer goods. एक और चीज बहुत क्लियर अगर आप देखोगे केमिकल्स, इसमें सिर्फ ऊपर में अगर आप देखोगे टॉप जो कंपनीज हैं, दे आर ऑल कंज्यूमर बेस्ड कंपनी, जो मैं हरदम सिखाना चाहता हूँ. दे आर ऑल कंज्यूमर कैपिटल इंटेंसिव कंपनी का था ना सेक्टर का, कैपिटल इंटेंसिव एंड बोला पीपीटी खोलना एक बार.
Yes.
It's a good time to understand the momentum of the sectors. If you see, there are very clear things that which company, which shares usually stands a part of time. Any pharma stock which is growing is always a great stock. You know, Ipca Lab, you know, pharma में अगर जो भी companies का high, because pharma has a very bad way, certain shares just don't perform. And there are few shares in pharma which just perform brilliantly. So this is an overall idea that कौन से sector usually हरदम returns देते हैं. They are in the top 10. So that gives you an idea, you know, of capital intensive sectors जो होता है, जो बहुत capital intensive होता है. Because can you put वो जो ऊपर में जो sector है, can you mark just once? एक बार वापस go back to the same previous page. इसे मार्क कर ले. Financial holding is not capital intensive. Service ये consumer based है. consumer, pharma is consumer, sugar is consumer, IT is consumer, consumer good, fertilizer is consumer, chemical is consumer, metal, cement, telecom, power is, these are all capital intensive. नहीं नहीं ठीक है, नीचे का छोड़ दे, एक बार ऊपर का देखते हैं. तो अगर आप देखोगे कि जो टॉप 7-8 रहते हैं, they are usually consumer based. So why we are sharing is because if you want to create a long term portfolio, usually it has been seen that don't buy capital intensive companies. You know, try to buy companies which is more on consumer based. So that is why they have a habit of buying these companies which does well every year. Okay, and there are certain sectors जो बहुत ही low return देते हैं, they're never in the top 10. So नीचे वाले services है सब. So banks private अगर आप देखेंगे, oil and gas, consumer, banks, PSU, financial services. So you have to be very careful in picking. So if you want to create a long-term portfolio, तो आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कौन सा सेक्टर अच्छा करता है, कौन सा सेक्टर अच्छा नहीं करता. ये ग्रुप में भेज देना. So consumer based और capital intensive का मैं थोड़ा आपको समझा देता हूँ. Just going back to the consumer based and capital intensive. So capital intensive sectors are जहाँ बहुत funds लगाना पड़ता है. And if you study 2-3 कंपनियां जो return usually देती है, cement, metals, you know, they give you good returns, capital intensive sectors. Okay, so that is where you have to check कि historically हमें क्या returns मिलता है from the capital intensive sectors, and usually works when the economy is doing well. Okay, next slide Vikas. Consumer are जो it is not, जैसे कोविड में फार्मा तो लगेगा ही, IT लगेगा ही, हेल्थ केयर लगेगा ही. So these companies who are there in this sector, they usually give returns because उसका कहीं ना कहीं अगर टाइम इकोनॉमी खराब भी होता है, इनफैक्ट जब इकोनॉमी खराब होता है तो कंज्यूमर का और एडवांटेज ही मिलता है. So consumer are always doing well in the system. So that is why many people prefer कि 70-80% portfolio should be, again this is one point only, but 70% portfolio should be consumer based and 30% portfolio should be metal based. Metal capital intensive sector should, एक run आया and then you buy and then you exit. So you should not hold capital intensive sectors more than 2 to 3 years. Where you consumer essential goods services, you can keep it for 15 years, 20 years also. That is a difference between a consumer based stock and a capital intensive stock. So that is one learning you have to keep always, because historically we have seen that the consumer based industries fall less in falling market, rises also less in rising market. You know, so that is another challenge which you always have with consumer essential and services. So that is also one thing which you need to learn. Okay, so this is a very important fundamental when you make a portfolio. Next slide, Vikas. So these are capital intensive companies. जिसे बहुत पैसा लगता है, they have to take huge loans. अगर economy नहीं चला तो you have a problem. Next, देखो Vikas. These are consumer essential, and SC means semi-consumer. So these comes all under consumer essential goods. So you should try to invest in these sectors mostly. विकास इसको अपडेट कर देना 28 सेक्टर्स में ना, ये पुराना वाला है, इसको थोड़ा अपडेट कर दो.
हाँ, sure.
Okay, any questions on capital intensive and consumer based, so that you have a fair idea of sector momentum, stock momentum. You know, consumer has a better momentum, capital has a less momentum. So this is also a very important point. Any questions on this? Anybody? No questions? Okay. So let's go. Let's move forward then. We've already discussed this. Let's go to strategies, Vikash, now. I think it's a good time to go to strategies. Let's start with the small cap. And then we'll study each share of the strategy. You know, key. Now, good time to go to. Is the basics clear to everyone? Have you understood the basics? कम से कम एक स्टॉक में 4 फैक्टर या मिनिमम 3 फैक्टर होना चाहिए to for the stock to buy. Let's start with small cap. This time we have 17 stocks. Vikash, can you show the strategy first from the Excel? हम लोग कैसे बनाते हैं? Good to review the.
Okay, opening.
नरेश भाई फर्स्ट टाइम अटेंड कर रहे हैं, नरेश शाह जी. नरेश शाह.
सर
कैसा लगा नरेश भाई आपको?
बहुत बढ़िया सर.
आप समझे हम लोग कैसे स्टॉक सिलेक्ट करते हैं? हाउ व्हाट आर द पैरामीटर्स देखना पड़ता है स्टॉक सिलेक्शन के लिए.
You are doing wonderful, sir. You are doing wonderful.
Thank you, Narish bhai. Thank you.
You are welcome, sir.
स्वाति जी, आपको कैसा लगा? स्वाति जोशी जी.
Good, sir. Nice. I'm trying to understand it. I mean, this is the first time I'm attending, so but it is good. Yeah.
But is it easy? बहुत difficult तो नहीं लगा ना आपको first
नहीं
time?
नहीं नहीं, difficult नहीं है, but मुझे self study भी उतना ही करना पड़ेगा. To sing.
Basically, the stock selection is an art, you know. It's a biggest art actually.
Actually. नहीं, but आपके help से कर ही लेंगे.
हाँ, कर लेंगे.
Nice. Thank you.
Vikash, are you showing?
Yes, sir, just file is opening, just taking time. Done, almost done.
So, in your experience, what are the 3 most important parameters you would look at out of the 6 parameters that are there?
All are very important, depends on the situation. Thoda sa situational bhi karna padta hai. Like right now, when the momentum is very strong, buy momentum.
Okay.
So then make sure that you have momentum stocks in your, because you want to make returns. Right now, the market is in a downslide. So make sure that you're buying very low valuation stocks, so that so it depends on certain situation where you are in. So आप किसको थोड़ा 5 factor में किसको ज़्यादा importance देना है, that is the thing.
So generally mandi ke time pe you are saying ki valuation and momentum is something that we should look at.
Mandi तेजी में momentum.
Okay.
And mandi में valuation.
Got it.
जब तेजी
अभी तो momentum है ही नहीं, right?
तेजी में even if you buy some high stocks, it's fine. थोड़ा high valuation चल जाएगा, but मंदी में high valuation नहीं चलेगा. Okay.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes, Amitabh ji, boliye.
Sir, I have invested in 4 or 5 of these strategies, sir.
Correct.
Now, this you have given dates. When you will revise these, there are dates there, sir.
Yes.
Do you also do some mid-course correction or something?
No.
Okay. All right. So we just stay on with it and then change on the day you say change.
Yes.
Noted. I wanted to understand this.
Okay. Thank you, Amitabh ji.
Thank you, sir.
So Radhika, it depends, this is also an art, according to the situation. Sometimes you have to check.
Right, sir.
Sometimes, you buy growth is a parameter which will always keep in the system.
Right.
Growth is a very important parameter which will always keep in the system, and momentum and valuation changes according to the situation. Sometimes if the momentum is high, but even the QBS is low, we go for it.
Got it.
So that's why the engineering has to be done, and it takes time to understand. It's an art. It's a great art.
Because last time I remember last class we were focusing on QBS, AGS and growth पे हम लोग का चारों parameter पे focus था.
QBS is growth only, na?
Right.
QBS is growth only.
Right.
And
So
AGS
इस
is
बार
momentum only.
got it. अच्छा, right.
QBS is growth, AGS is momentum.
Got it.
Yeah. And then we discussed valuation also.
Yes.
But if you have anything which has 4 factors, it's a great buy. And agar all the 5 factors easily hote hain, chhatta factor so it's very economy based, which is but if you have all the 5 factors, then it's a great stock. So that takes time to find. That is why we build in the strategies and give it to you, that at least we'll have 4 or 5 factors, which Karthik ji studied each stock and checked, sab mein 4 factor hai. So this is how strategies are built up. Is given these 17 stocks. Because 17 दिया ना हम लोग ने?
Yes, sir.
Industrial management 3 दिया है क्या आप लोगों ने?
हाँ.
Okay, so अगर आप देखोगे, थोड़ा लेफ्ट का नहीं दिख रहा है वैल्यूएशन.
हाँ सर, बस वो भी अभी भी डाउनलोड हो ही रहा है फाइल. थोड़ा सा ये हेवी फाइल है.
Suresh, I had a question.
Yes.
So what I understood was that the QBS is the QBS comes out from 5 to 6 factors, the factors which you were saying. So individually we have to go and check the factors, or we just see the QBS?
No. QBS is only the growth factor.
Okay. So
QBS
which are the 5
gives
factors?
you the growth.
Okay. So which are the 5 factors you're saying you should buy on? Can you just repeat?
I'll show you again. We can show the PPT.
Yes. Sorry, I missed it. I think.
No problem. I'll show you again. No issues. I'll show you again.
Thank you.
Now, you see the number 1 is growth, which is the QBS.
Okay, right.
So you have to know whether the company is growing or not. Sales and profit, ROE, what is the cash flow, which comes from the growth factor.
Yeah.
Okay. Now QBS also includes ROE. So QBS also gives you high, because ROEs, but ROEs can be used as a separate factor also, because if the ROE is low and the QBS is high, then you are already in a challenge basis.
Okay.
So QBS includes the ROE also, by the way. So 1 and 2 is included in QBS, but sometimes you have to study ROE separately to understand the efficiency of the management.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll come to number 4. I'm not discussing number 3 right now because that is a macro factor. We are discussing the micro. Then the momentum, whether the share has a history of giving returns.
Right.
Which I was discussing, like you buy ITC and you don't make money for 5 years. That is not fair. So I've seen many big guys, they will buy shares and they don't have returns. Why? Because they have bought shares which has no momentum. Momentum means that fund managers are not interested. The public is not interested. The mutual fund managers are not interested in those stocks. The foreign institutions are not interested in those stocks.
Correct.
What is momentum? Momentum is foreign institution, D2, fund managers, PMS managers, and the general public. They are interested. They create the momentum.
Right.
But if all the 4 players are not interested in a stock and we buy that stock, that means we are thinking that we are more smarter than these 4 people.
Right.
So we have to check the momentum, what is the momentum, which is the AGS, which you easily find out from my app. What is the AGS? What is the historical AGS, which I just covered?
Yeah.
When we started the program.
And then, Shailesh, one thing is AGS, is there any, like in the parameter you were showing 13, 14, that is out of 20, is it? I mean,
right. Out of 20 quarters, correct.
Okay, so it goes right. Like if it's above 10, we have to catch it like that?
Yeah, above 10, you are already in a good momentum stock.
Okay, so it should be above 10 minimum.
No, sometimes again, it depends. Like I know that this company has shown some fantastic growth.
Okay.
It doesn't have a historic momentum, but the last 2 quarter momentum is very good.
Okay.
So there are 2 in like when we see growth, we see the 5-year growth, we see last 1 year growth, we see the last quarter growth. 3 things we see. Okay. In momentum also, we see the 5-year AGS, we see the last 1 year AGS, and we see the last quarter AGS.
Okay.
So you divide into 3 parts. The growth into 3 parts: 5-year, 1 year, quarter. AGS also 5-year, 1 year, quarter.
Oh, okay.
So you know that this company has done very well in the last 3 months and it has shown some fantastic growth.
Okay.
So then you have to take a chance and buying that stock also.
And above 10, if it is showing in all 3, it is good.
All 3 to hoga nahi, last quarter to 1 out of 1 hi hoga na.
Okay.
And last 1 year will be 4 quarters.
Okay. Got it.
That is also available. I'll show you. Vitaki, but dikha di AGS ka. I'll show you so that how you use it AGS. You know that the history of the AGS and what is the current AGS of whether they are doing well, momentum, they are doing well or not.
Okay.
But sometimes we get stuck in very stocks. It doesn't move for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pain.
Absolutely.
It's a pain, and we keep it for years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because AGS dikha dena beta.
Yes, sir. It's opening.
But are you enjoying the program, Gautam? Are you understanding?
Yeah. It's very nice. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stuck for so long, you know me. It's very nice, very precise, more than anything else. So very, very precisely done. Yeah. Actually, I think recently, like just now, I think Mr. Karthik or somebody was covering all the good things. So it's like
what
very.
he did was all the stocks which he released on 10th of June. He took all the stocks and then he ran on all the factors, and then he checked that most of the stocks have at least 4 or 3 factors minimum.
Right. Then only you'll choose it. Otherwise, you
Yeah,
won't choose
so
it.
basically he was checking that whatever I'm teaching, not he was checking on me, he was just
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
just
just
doing his
contemplating.
intelligent work actually. That
Yeah,
whatever I'm teaching in the share which I say, is it in conjunction? And that's good actually. You get more validity, and we understand that whatever we teach and whatever the stocks are, it is in tandem, and it works. It works. It works. Because we are covering those factors which make the stock prices move up or move down. So that is why we focus on only on those factors, which are the most important factors for stock selection. And obviously one of the interest rate regime and F2 together creates a macro picture, which is also very disturbing. So that is also very important. Just a second.
What are you feeling, Shailesh? Where will the market bottom out? Any clue? Are we near to a bottom?
F2s have to. One second.
Yeah. There's no start buying.
Which stock got on the for AGS?
Anything यार कोई भी ले बता रहा हूँ एक सेकंड यार अभी आप दिखा रहे थे ना
SRF दिखा रहे थे
हाँ वही कोई भी ले लो SRF ही ले लो ऐसे मैं तो समझ रहा हूँ बस कैसे देखना
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Gautam, you were saying something?
No, ठीक है I take my question back. You already taught us how to understand what is happening. So you taught us yesterday and I understood also. I take my question back.
No, it's okay. You can ask again, no problem.
No, you told us how to see when the F2 starts buying, and at least for a month, right. Then we'll understand, and should be around 30,000 crore, you said.
15,000 crore से idea लग जाता है क्या buying चालू कर दियो.
Because अभी तक तो they are not buying only, they are selling
buying,
everywhere.
So you don't see any turnaround. When they start buying, and then we also have a short-term data which we have done study. Their open interest position in the market. So by that time you understand, क्या भी लोग खरीद लिए, So then you know that now things have bottomed out. Now you see the AGS. This is the AGS of SRF. So if you click here,
okay.
Then you see we also give you the AGS. Last 3 quarter AGS is also 3.3.
Okay. Okay.
You know that current में भी last 3 quarter में भी बहुत अच्छा perform कर रहा है comparatively.
और 3 out of 3 हो गया, okay. और अगर 2 quarter अच्छा होता तो 2 out of 3 होता.
हाँ, 2 quarter अच्छा तो 2 out of 3.
Okay.
आपको आइडिया लग गया कि last 9 महीने में जो बाजार गिर भी रहा है, SRF is really done well.
समझ गया. This is the way you see. Okay, I got it now how to see it.
So comparative to Nifty, how much Nifty is falling, how much the stock is falling. So if the stock is beating Nifty all the time, that means the stock is very, very strong, even in falling markets.
Correct. And you said you have to see the last 3 quarter, last something, you said 1 quarter.
Last 3 quarters देखिए and mainly last 20 quarters देखिए जो ऐप में दिया. It is easier.
Last 20 quarter ये भी इधर ही आ रहा है ना?
हाँ वही आ रहा है देखो ना 16 और 20.
Okay. 16 और
16 और 20 this one.
Okay, got it. Okay. और तो ये देखना और 3 quarter देखना है.
हाँ तो इससे एक आइडिया लग जाता है कि वो शेयर का मोमेंटम क्या है. जैसे आप कोई बताओ कोई शेयर में देखता हूँ जिसमें अभी नहीं चल रहा है, कोई शेयर बताइए, कोई शेयर.
यार इतने सारे नहीं चल रहे, समझ नहीं आ रहा है, एक ध्यान ही नहीं आता है. वेट यार, तो ये क्या I've gone blank, समझ ही नहीं आ रहा. एक मिनट यार, तुम ही बता दो यार कोई यार.
ठीक है, Tanla is your favorite, so I'll open Tanla.
Yeah, Tanla is my favorite.
Check the boss.
Tanla is my favorite, but for sure.
मैं देखता हूँ. इसका AGS देखते हैं. Historical तो AGS superb है.
हाँ वो तो है.
Last year it is 2 out of 3, not bad.
Okay. तो अगर ये 1 होता तो खराब है क्या?
बहुत ही खराब था ना. 1 out of 3 तो very bad.
1 और 0 भी हो सकता है, right?
Obviously तीनों क्वार्टर खराब किया तो 0 हो जाएगा. 0 फिर तो बहुत ही खराब.
Okay. And ये जो 20 quarter है, this should be above 10 ना?
Above 10, correct.
ठीक है, मतलब जितना बेटर हो 14
नहीं,
15।
क्या होता है, 8 के ऊपर रखते हैं इसमें हम लोग, क्या करते हैं जैसे 8 के ऊपर रख लिए 20 क्वार्टर्स एंड लास्ट 3 क्वार्टर्स 3.3 है।
नहीं समझा, नो नो आई डिडंट।
लास्ट 20 क्वार्टर्स 8 आउट ऑफ 20
ओके
and last 3 quarters 3.3 out of 3.
ओके ओके,
That become very good.
oh because वो 3 quarter is more important कि last 3 में 3 निकल गया है।
हाँ,
even if the 10 के नीचे है लेकिन 3 quarter is very good, तो it's a good thing।
अब कोई कंपनी जैसे 12 के ऊपर चल रहा है
हाँ,
और करंट में it is 1 out of 3,
हाँ तो नहीं लेना है।
है ना, स्टिल ले लोगे, नो व्हाई नॉट, बिकॉज हिस्टोरिकली अच्छा है, हो सकता है अभी 2-4 महीना से नहीं चल रहा है।
ओके ओके, और वो 1 out of 3 और वो 8 out of 20 तो बिल्कुल नहीं है।
वो तो फिर तो एकदम बकवास।
समझ गया, अब मैं समझ गया, ठीक है, आई गॉट इट।
तो मतलब दोनों में एक काउंटर पार्ट को स्ट्रॉन्ग होना पड़ेगा।
मैं समझ गया पूरा, आई गॉट दिस फॉर यू। अच्छा शैलेश, वन सजेशन व्हाइल टॉकिंग, इट जस्ट स्ट्रक मी, आई डोंट नो हाउ मच इट वर्क्स फॉर यू, बट एक सजेशन है कि ये जैसे जो वीडियो व्हिच यू रिलीज ऑन द YouTube for the stocks and the Nifty both, they are very good, I've been seeing them, ठीक है, मतलब जब से you told me I've been seeing, उसमें एक चीज, if you feel you can add up for these you know the small companies, small cap, see small cap nobody recommends anywhere, okay, because it's a difficult job,
Right.
but with your app, with the QBS, you know obviously people who watch YouTube, everybody is not using the app, it is just a suggestion, nothing particularly for me, but then I'll forget telling you. So what I'm seeing, a lot of people are watching your YouTube, I feel, and this will keep on increasing the viewership. But small cap, proper research stock, nowhere anybody is giving. Okay, nowhere.
मेरे पास तो है, I give a lot of small cap, but you want micro cap, ना, basically you want more
micro भी हो तो बहुत अच्छा है, but I don't know how much it works for you because obviously you are in the public domain.
Tell me below market cap, how much market cap below?
मतलब I'm talking of below 1,000 crore.
1,000 crore, ठीक है।
हाँ, but अगर वो ये वीडियो रिलीज कर पाओ, especially in the result season, I feel you'll get a lot of viewership. I'm telling you, you can give it a shot, because I'll tell you what, these are very small companies and it is impossible to get to it, because ये सिर्फ hearsay से ही लोग लेते हैं, इसमें research करके निकालना it is impossible. So you'll be the first person, will be very innovative and इससे viewership बहुत बढ़ जाएगा। एक बार try करके देखो, and you have all the system to you know identify.
अभी एक बार अभी स्टार्ट करें 1,000 crore के नीचे कुछ स्टॉक्स कौन से?
एक देखो एक बार, because Shailesh, I'll tell you for all your people, can I just do a 1 minute conversation? मैं सबको बड़ा help होगा इससे. So guys, I'm telling you very seriously, okay, I'm very deeply involved in the market, Shailesh knows it, and believe me, these below 1,000 crore companies, which are micro cap we are talking of, everybody in the world, even I hear, and they say it's almost impossible to identify them, and they fall much more than the obviously the good companies, the large caps which are established. But if Shailesh is identifying right now, today you note down the prices, okay, what he's identifying, and we can talk on this in the next seminar, and you will yourself see if the market recovers, what kind of return these companies will give. So just do a homework, a book trading. For today only, you start. Whatever Shailesh is saying, just follow him. I think it will really make a lot of sense. And every 6 months, he can identify every 3 months, 6 months, and everybody here can benefit in it. So Shailesh, take it over here.
Okay. The only thing is why I don't recommend is कि जब बाजार गिरता है ना, ये सब स्टॉक बहुत जोर गिरते हैं, जैसे हम लोग का पोर्टफोलियो 5 to 10% गिरेगा.
I agree.
But क्या होता है कि जब ये पीपल गया यार, अभी 5% हैंडल करने का कैपेसिटी नहीं है गौतम लोगों पे.
I agree. वो तो ठीक.
क्या होता है ना, वो माइक्रो कैप देने से तो लोग हिल जाएंगे. एक BCG दिया था, हिल गए.
नहीं, I agree.
Loss में they started shaking, you know.
I know what you mean. I
People
understand.
don't have the mindset, you know, वो डर है उनके अंदर बहुत.
ठीक बात है, एकदम ठीक बात.
ठीक है, let's study, you know. So I'm not recommending to everybody.
Yeah.
But you understand that if you have a high risk appetite, then you can see. Okay, so we'll complete this small cap and then we'll go to micro.
Okay.
ये small cap का strategy है, बहुत ही wonderful काम करता है. Last 5 साल में 200% का return दिया है. These are all the small cap stocks only which I have recommended as a portfolio. Okay, and some fantastic stocks are there here. And विकास इसमें लगा देगा क्या QBS, AGS?
So this is the latest list, Shailesh, after this
Latest,
result.
latest, correct.
The
जो
QB
रिजल्ट के बाद अभी आया है.
तो देखिए QBS ऑलरेडी 13 के ऊपर है, मैं दिखा रहा हूँ यहाँ पर. All the stocks are above 13 and the ROE is greater than 15. See the stock selection system. There, all the stocks have March to March sales growth of 20% profit and 20% sales. The P is below 50. So वही 4-5 factor, growth, valuation, QBS, you know. So we are taking all the factors and then making the strategy. And the stocks have they return the 192%. By the way, this strategy has been ranked number 3 by Money Control in India. I am the number 3 return giver in India. By the way, this strategy, we have not changed the strategy. And this strategy, the stocks which comes, has a very high potential thing to give fantastic returns. So you can easily buy this entire strategy in small cap, small case, and you can invest in the strategies. Now I'll just show you, अगर आपको सबका इसका details देखना है, because can we have a details quickly? यहाँ पर ही possible है क्या एक ही जगह है या फिर मेरे को individually जाना पड़ेगा?
नहीं डिटेल ना इनका ना सबका.
हाँ.
QBS वगैरह ना.
QBS, AGS और.
Yeah, I will do it. Just.
So basically अगर आप देखिए इसमें कितने सेक्टर्स हैं 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 approximately we have given you 11 sector के stocks हैं 17 stock में 11 sectors are there. Okay, so whenever you make a portfolio you should always have at least 10 sector का stock, 5 sector 7 sector के stock उसमें होनी चाहिए. So this is the portfolio of the small cap. And we are facing all the factors and then we make a strategy. And then we check the 5 years अगर हम ये strategy चलाते quarter and quarter, was it giving me returns in future? So this clearly shows that this strategy is giving some fantastic returns in future.
Sorry, just file is getting hang again. Just a minute.
Okay, so this is a very innovative thing we have done. So basically, I highly recommend please invest in a strategy because it is very highly tested. अब देखिए बाजार गिरता है तो we suffer, वो एक separate बात है. But please understand that these strategies really do well. I'll show you the AGS, I'll show you the QBS of each stock. So did you understand any questions? Gautam, did you understand how the stocks are selected? If you see the yellow, they have been tested for 10 years of data. And then the stocks come and they give me performance for the next quarter.
Okay.
So this strategy gives me approximately 35 to 40% returns in every quarter. Every year. So It's
The
a-
yellow, we used to follow the yellow, na? Total
Yeah, these are the
QBS.
yellow parameters which we follow to make this strategy.
Got it.
QBS above 13, ROE above 15,
Correct.
P ratio less than 1,
Correct.
and the BIOS March to March quarter sales is about 2020. You know,
Absolutely.
then
So this
the
will
price-
work, Shailesh. This has to work. I'm telling you, मतलब ये गिरने में भी जो तुम बोल रहे हैं ना,
हाँ,
वो you're right, it falls more. But what I'm noticing nowadays, if you see all the large caps are down by 40%, okay? You take any large cap, Bajaj ले लो या tech stock ले लो. Normally, मतलब 70% market में, तो ये वाला जो है ना, these are the best mid cap you have. Okay, they are small companies and they will really move fast. So घटे जो 40% down होंगे ही, 30, 40, 35, 40.
नहीं,
पर वो तो
ये वाला मैं फिर बता रहा हूँ, ये वाला वो माइक्रो कैप नहीं है, ये कम डाउन हो रहा है।
हाँ मालूम है, ये तो स्मॉल कैप है ना, काइंड ऑफ मिड कैप होगा।
नहीं, ये
ये
स्मॉल
कम
कैप है।
स्मॉल कैप है क्या? बिलो कितना है ये? बिलो मार्केट कैप कितना है?
मार्केट कैप भी लगा दे विकास सबका।
2000 नहीं 5,000 होगा।
नहीं, सबका मार्केट कैप लगा देता हूँ मैं, आपको देख लो।
Shailesh, I have one question.
Yes.
In your app, there is a invest now button, okay?
Yes.
And for this small cap, it is mentioned 1,67,210.
Correct.
So how the stocks are divided among this value?
Equally.
10,000 each approximately?
Yeah, approximately, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Who was this? Who asked this question?
I'm Jacob Philip.
Jacob, okay.
Thank you.
ठीक है विकास, नो प्रॉब्लम, समझ गया मैं। जो भी होगा 2,000 3,000 करोड़ के नीचे होगा,
नहीं,
कोई प्रॉब्लम
नहीं है, कुछ स्टॉक 4,000 5,000 भी है।
अच्छा हाँ ठीक है। अच्छा शैलेश, one more thing, like Angel One you've chosen, the results were fantastic, but you were saying the other day that Broken won't do well this time because of the market fall.
One share, एक शेयर तो लेना पड़ेगा because
वही
एक
पूछ
शेयर
रहा
लेके रखा है हम लोग ने। See, that is why in a portfolio we have to choose one, नहीं तो वो क्या होगा, बहुत ज्यादा सब्जेक्टिव हो जाने से।
Yeah. No, the results were very good. Rather, I bought it at 1,600 roughly. Okay, तो अभी तो घट गया। Obviously, सब घट रहा है तो वो भी घट गया, but the results were phenomenal. And obviously, 1,600 में नहीं तो खरीदा भी नहीं जाएगा ऐसे कोई जबरदस्ती का। तो that's what I saw, that you've chosen it. तो but since you're anticipating कि इस बार खराब आएगा, but still you need to keep it, हाँ वही पूछ रहा हूँ।
तो मैंने एक ही शेयर लिया। Actually, when you buy a portfolio, तो one share will not damage my portfolio.
और शेयर इंडिया इसीलिए नहीं लिया बिकॉज़ शेयर इंडिया का भी बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट था इस बार।
बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट।
हाँ, but you didn't take it, that's why I think. ठीक है, got it. I've understood what you're saying, so it's not required. तो market cap का तो
market cap और काफी high है इसमें. That is the strategy. It's a very average market cap, बहुत high.
3,000 to 4,000 होगा करोड़।
नहीं, देखो ना आगे ना सामने स्क्रीन में।
9,000.
Average is 9,000.
9,000 करोड़।
हाँ, average.
Oh, average. अरे बहुत महंगा स्टॉक है। अच्छा, nice. कितनी मिड कैप माना जाएगा? 9,000 तो मिड कैप माना जाएगा।
मिड कैप नहीं है, 50,000 करोड़ के ऊपर। आई शो यू। विकास एक बार दिखा दे करंट का क्या है अभी, हाउ मच किसके ऊपर क्या है।
Okay.
और ये स्मॉल कैप ले रहा है ना? You're saying this is small cap.
Yeah, so approximately 35,000 करोड़ के ऊपर सब लार्ज कैप्स है। 15,000 crore to 35,000 crore is mid cap.
Okay, below
15,000 crore के नीचे सब small cap हो जा रहे हैं।
Okay. And now below 1,000 will be micro cap.
Yeah, below 1,000 या 2,000 will be micro cap actually.
समझ गया। got it.
Yeah.
So fine.
Very nice session, very informative, and बहुत अच्छा select. Stock selection is also very properly. I mean, that's what you're showing, but very nicely done here. Tomorrow also 5 to 7 are we doing, Shailesh? Saturday?
Yes.
5 to 7, no? Okay.
विकास कुछ हुआ क्या? क्या हुआ?
Sir, I had one fundamental question. on
Yes.
strategy. So why, how important it is to rebalance the portfolio every quarter if we are
Very,
looking at
very important.
no, the subsequent question was that if you are looking to stay, look from a long-term perspective, is
No,
3 months a long-term period?
No. Long-term perspective is a very completely, then you go into yearly strategies.
Okay.
See, if you want this kind of returns, if you are looking at check now, if you want a 15% return, then long-term is okay. But if you want a 25-30% return, then you have to rebalance every quarter.
Got it.
You know, so because वो every quarter में छट जाता है, जैसे Angel 1 का results अगर खराब आया तो मैं बेच दूंगा. I'm not going to suffer with Angel 1 for the next quarter. You know, so I don't want to buy anything which reduces its loss and profits. We have observed that the market public has a tendency to sell those stocks after results. You know, तो वो बहुत गिर जाता है.
Got it.
So that is why we want to be always be in growth stocks. So even if the market is bad, my stocks will not be hammered. My stocks will not be hammered. Because ये क्या कर रहा है?
Market cap?
Below 2000 market cap. पहले दिखा दे top 100 कहाँ तक है अभी?
बहुत अच्छा है.
If you see, बाप रे 50 नहीं 100
43,000 crore.
46,000 crores.
43.
43. So all large caps are 43,000 crores and up.
Yeah, Gautam.
मोटा मोटी 40,000 के ऊपर आप लार्ज कैप बोलोगे.
Okay.
40,000 से लेके कहाँ तक आ रहा है देखिए 250 या
15,000
करोड़ तक मिड कैप है. 15,000 to 40,000 crore इज मिड कैप.
समझिए.
और 15,000 करोड़ के नीचे स्मॉल कैप चालू हो जाता है.
Got it.
As per the SEBI mandate.
Oh, this is as per SEBI mandate.
As per SEBI.
Okay, got it.
So small cap has a huge range from 15,000 crore to and 2,000 crore के नीचे macro cap आ जाए.
ठीक बात.
Anything which is less than 2,000 crore will come under micro cap.
Got it.
500 खत्म हो जाता है 4,300 crore. You know. Vikas, can you show 2,000 crore के नीचे micro cap?
हाँ.
कितनी कंपनी हो रही है?
1100 कंपनी.
1100 कंपनी है 2,000 के नीचे.
Okay. Got it. Micro cap.
Yeah. So यहाँ से you have to select approximately 15-20 stocks you need from here, right?
Right.
तो हम लोग एक स्ट्रैटेजी कोशिश कर रहे हैं 2,000 करोड़ के नीचे बनाने का.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah.
तो 15-20 स्टॉक्स हम लोग निकालते हैं.
That'll be nice अगर हो जाए तो यार.
Yeah, that'll be very good because then that means there's a lot of range, and you can even hold that for many years till the time it becomes even a.
But if you buy, if you get into a wrong stock, you might lose a huge amount of money.
Yes, that also. But it's a high return, high risk,
it's a high risk, high return investment.
एक पोर्टफोलियो का 10
ये जब भी करना चाहिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ. ये कब करना चाहिए जब बाजार जैसे अगर 3 का वैल्यूएशन पे आ जाता है मार्केट.
हाँ एकदम नीचे.
Then you should definitely get into some micro caps, because आपको मालूम है बाजार गिर गया. But when the market is very high, जब मार्केट में first, then you should exit all micro caps.
Agreed.
You have a very fast. You cannot hold micro cap. नहीं तो पूरा आपका खत्म हो जाएगा. Sometimes.
I've also observed that in the last 20-30 years of data that we have of Nifty from 92 to अभी तक में, so ये बड़े falls ऐसे 8 साल के बाद आते हैं, but बीच में these 20% kind of falls come once in 4-5 years, right? So ये So is it fair to assume, और इस बार क्या हो रहा है, पिछले कुछ साल से confusion बड़ा निफ्टी में हो रहा है क्योंकि Reliance का कुछ weight ज्यादा हो गया है, and the index doesn't fall, but नीचे stocks काफी गिर चुके हैं, even Nifty stocks 40-50 में से 40 गिर चुके हैं, around 30%.
Correct.
So can we sort of assume that ये मोटा this fall is over according to the analysis that you're doing, or should we expect that?
I think so. The now more or less now the pain should not be more now. But the only thing is that whenever I'll see this data of F2 ना 15% का data से मुझे idea लग जाएगा कि market हो गया.
Right. Okay.
So I'll announce it myself कि market हो गया है, 15-20 दिन हो गया, so I'll announce it. We are there. That is why you are there. You are paying me. So I'll announce कि अब market खत्म हो गया. I will actually announce it.
Right.
In the group कि भैया buying चालू हो गया है, interest rate regime is covered up. So now good time to enter the stocks.
Yeah, because इतने सारे parameters है ना, even after doing it for so many years, you tend to miss out some parameter or the other. तो इसलिए ये जो एक mastermind type का group होता है ना, it keeps helping. तो at least कुछ ना कुछ indications पता चलता है कि अच्छा ये miss out हो गया, ये नहीं देखा, वो नहीं देखा, etc. So.
But people don't understand the value of that. They just want to make money. बाजार खराब है, बाजार अच्छा है. They don't see from a long-term perspective.
Yeah.
जैसे क्या है, if we are there in the group and we enter एकदम समझो P आ जाता है, मालूम पड़ जाता है कि market में है, and then we put money, तो जो ऊपर का लिया हुआ है नीचे average भी हो गया, and then again we make very big money.
Yes, absolutely.
So that is how you make very big money. You should have the funds to invest in the market.
हाँ वही अभी लेके बैठे हुए हैं लगाने के लिए, but अभी भी interest rate looks like we'll have 1 or 2 rounds of interest rate hike. अभी अपना 4.9 तो हो गया repo, I think ये हो जाएगा शायद. US तो कर चुका, इतना बड़ा रेट का हाइक कर दिया, वो अनाउंस भी कर दिया और 75 करने वाले हैं वो.
तो नहीं देखिए भैया, मैंने कल बताया था ना, ये whom I am speaking to?
कार्तिक.
हाँ कार्तिक जी, मैंने कल बताया था ना 3 month देखते रहिए.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
If the 3 months will not rise, then they will not increase the interest rate.
Correct. Yeah. The investing
Fed just follows the 3-month chart. That's
it. Interest rate. अच्छा.
Yeah, और कुछ नहीं follow करता. 50 years का research है इसमें, Timurs का, कि अगर आपको Fed का रेट पहले मालूम करना है, just follow 3 months.
I see. Okay.
I could not understand. शैलेश, क्या 3 month कौन सा देखना है?
मतलब
जो Treasury yield. हाँ.
ये तो हम लोग को पूरा दुनिया को मालूम है. I'll show you again. Because I just show the 3 months again. I showed it on first day.
Yes. You did.
एक बार वापस.
फिर से दिखा दूँ.
Yeah.
तो आपको फेड का पहले ही मालूम रहता है कि, और बाजार फेड का मीटिंग के लिए वेट नहीं करना है. अगर ये बढ़ता रहेगा तो बाजार गिरता रहेगा. तो मैं डेली देख लेता हूँ, अगर वो फेड बढ़ा है तो कैन प्रेडिक्ट कल बाजार गिरेगा. सो इट्स अ वेरी इजी थिंग टू सी.
Very sorry, suddenly it's working very slow. Sorry.
एक दूसरा एनालिसिस में कर रहा था, if I may, while this is loading. अजय, आपने थोड़ी देर पहले बोला था कि the financial and the broking stocks will keep doing well. आपने दिखाया था कि it's amongst the top 3 sectors also. Sometimes I feel that this Zerodha and Upstocks ये इतना ज़्यादा market share अपना बढ़ा रहे हैं. I mean, in no time they've come to number 1. और HDFC, ICICI, Angel and all वो सब 5, 6, 7 ranking पे नीचे चले गए. So I am actually thinking that, what would you think is the future of these companies? मतलब they are doing very well. They are clean companies, great governance and all that. वो सब बढ़िया है. But with more and more people and more crores and crores of demat accounts opening on Zerodha and things like that, whether this financial services and broking businesses will continue to, keep making profits and things like that. At the same time, I'm also saying people like us swear by that. I, for example, do it with Kotak, and I know a lot of people who stay with HDFC and things like that, so they don't move to Zerodha. But I mean, is there a threat to the traditional brokers in that sense? I mean, for us to invest in these broking stocks, including Share India. 55 का ROE है अभी तो, it's brilliant.
Traditional broking में देखिए जो listed companies हैं वो सब great हैं because they have created a model. Traditional companies will not survive. You have to be listed. You have to have a zero broking model to be a great broker.
Okay.
So जो भी zero brokerage में है, angel broking, Upstock, Zerodha, and if you have, ICICI Direct and HDFC, because of the sheer banking power, they are also into top 5.
Yes.
But companies like Motilal Oswal are struggling, because zero brokerage उन्होंने launch ही नहीं की.
Correct, right. But they don't make money with zero broking, ना? अगर business में अगर profit नहीं होगा तो फिर कैसे?
नहीं, शायद गलत है. उनका मॉडल मैं फिर बता देता हूँ.
हाँ.
They इंट्राडे ब्रोकरेज जो है वो जीरो है, मतलब सॉरी इंट्राडे ब्रोकरेज जो है वो जीरो है
और डिलीवरी भी जीरो है.
नो अब डिलीवरी जीरो. हाँ तो इंट्राडे में थी चार्ज एंड डिलीवरी जीरो है.
हाँ डिलीवरी इज जीरो.
Yes, so delivery brokerage is zero, but intraday they charge.
I see. So intraday F&O they charge, then that income is so much larger that they can afford to do all the cash deliveries for free.
Correct. So, yes.
Like us to
and Kotak, I'll tell you, Kotak Securities has just launched a different mechanism. What they have done is they said intraday is free. We will only charge delivery.
Correct, because there is more money in delivery, ना? मतलब एक transaction करो तो काफी बड़ा हो जाता है. I don't know. I've not done analysis of.
So they are no. आप नहीं समझ रहे हो. फिर मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ. Zerodha, Angel, Upstock is intraday they charge, delivery is free.
Yes.
Kotak has just launched a new scheme. Intraday is free, delivery they will charge. Carry forward में option में भी charge करेंगे.
अच्छा.
They are not charging on option.
They will charge.
No, in options only they will not.
There are two competitive models in the market today.
But इतना profit बन जाता है from intraday and from F&O and things like that.
Yes.
Wow, that means हम जैसे लोग तो minority में है कि जो invest करके 10 साल तक.
Sir, I know many people who are right now, they have only intraday and delivery brokerage zero. There are about 40-50 companies and they are all doing well.
अच्छा.
They are all making money. जो भी intraday को zero, delivery zero कर दिया है, they are all making money. जो इस मॉडल में नहीं आया, they are all suffering. इनफैक्ट अभी भी ग्रोथ है. अगर भी जीरो दा वाला मॉडल अगर आप अप्लाई करोगे अभी भी आप सर्वाइव कर जाओगे.
अच्छा.
Okay, see, good news is Gautam.
Yeah.
Good news is that the interest rate is 1.75 in America and right now it is 1.57.
Okay.
ये क्या हुआ था? क्योंकि उस दिन जिस दिन आया था उस दिन 1.90 हो गया.
Okay.
But एक दो दिन में घट गया है, so this is a very, very good sign. Now the market will only collapse when it goes above 2.
Okay.
तो ये आप एवरीडे देखते रहिए. अगर ये 2 के ऊपर चला गया तो मार्केट कोलैप्स कर जाएगा. लेकिन अगर ये 2 के ऊपर नहीं गया तो मार्केट कभी भी बाइंग आ जाए.
समझ गए. So this 3 year you have to follow.
And just for your information, आज यूएस का क्लियरिंग था ऑप्शन का.
Correct. That I know. Yeah.
यूएस का क्लियरिंग आज खत्म हुआ है तो मंडे से नया क्लियरिंग चालू होगा.
Okay. Right.
So whenever the new clearing starts, there is a new buying in the market also. So if the interest rate is down, we might see some very big buying next week.
Okay, that is good. So basically the 10-year and all, which people say, all that we don't have to see. We have to see the 3-year one.
3 months.
3 months.
Oh, sorry, 3 month. Okay. Otherwise 10-year bond yield लोग बोल रहे थे देखने के लिए, वो नहीं देख.
Fed rate decide होता है. This is how the Fed rate decides.
Got it.
Fed rate follows this to decide Fed rate.
ठीक है.
जो उन्होंने announce किया था that they are going to raise by another 75 basis points, तो ये थोड़ा सा कम हो जाएगा, फिर वो 75 आएगा तो भी that top of that 1.9 will not be, और 2 के आगे नहीं जाएगा. Is that the presumption?
Yes, अगर 2 के ऊपर चला गया, जब next time they will increase 2.5, नहीं तो लोग increase नहीं करेंगे next. अभी 1.75 है and the 3 month is 1.57.
57. हाँ.
right? So they are not going to increase the interest rate anymore.
अच्छा अच्छा.
अब ये अगर 2 के ऊपर जाएगा जब ही बाजार गिरेगा, जब तक 2 के ऊपर नहीं जाएगा और बाजार नहीं गिरेगा.
Fantastic. Very good.
Very interesting.
They won't increase if it doesn't go above 2 the next time.
They will never. They cannot, because they only follow this chart for last 50 years.
Okay, great.
All
Very
American
nice.
knows, yaar, ye sabko malum hai. This is the knowledge which all the big guys know. There is a 50-year track record. Fed has never increased rates apart from the 3 months. पहले 3 month market में होता उतना interest rate लोग कर देते. That's it.
इसका 52-week high 1.87 है ना?
ये
वही
1.87 है, right? 1.87. Right.
That is the highest it has gone to, right?
Yes. अभी इसीलिए they have increased the rate to 1.75.
ठीक बात. अब इसके ऊपर जाएगा तभी अपने को प्रॉब्लम आएगा.
Next rate will be अब ये 2. जब तक ये 2.10 नहीं होगा, तब तक इंटरेस्ट रेट नहीं बढ़ेगा.
तो नेक्स्ट मीटिंग इज जुलाई 27 फेड का. समझो ये उसके नीचे रहता है तो दे वोंट इंक्रीज. यू मीन टू से
no, there will be no increase.
Oh, very good. This is very important to be seen. ठीक है.
एवरीडे मैं देखता हूँ जब भी नया स्पाइक मारता है. देखो जो 2 दिन पहले स्पाइक मारा था इसीलिए बाजार 700 पॉइंट गिर गया.
Got it. Thank you, Salesh.
और इंडिया भी सेम ही चीज, मोटा मोटी इंडिया भी सेम ही चीज फॉलो करता है. बाय द वे, इंडिया का दिखा दो 3 month.
इंडिया का भी सेम 3 month देखना.
हाँ, सेम इंडिया भी सेम ही फॉलो करता है.
बस दिखाओ.
इंडिया का 3 month है 5.12.
ओके.
और अभी रेपो रेट है 4.9.
Yeah.
So the maximum increase they can do is 0.22 only.
ओके. और इक्वल चलना चाहिए.
इक्वल से ज्यादा कभी बढ़ता ही नहीं है. कभी हाई नहीं करते लोग कभी.
ओके.
तो वो हो सकता है कि 0.22 छोटा है तो हो सकता है इंटरेस्ट रेट नहीं बढ़ा. He might just keep it at 4.9 only.
Oh. Okay. So this is a good positive sign.
A very good positive sign. वही तो मैं देख रहा हूँ. अगर ये 5.50 जाएगा जब वो वापस 5.25 करे. So आपको एडवांस नॉलेज रहता है ऑलवेज. द मार्केट जिस दिन ये बढ़ता है उसी दिन बाजार गिर जाता है. जैसे बढ़ता है मार्केट में सेलिंग आ जाता है.
ठीक बात है. एकदम ठीक बात है. क्योंकि ऑब्वियस है.
That means they have just made a kind of a cautious announcement that we may go to. I mean, people have all been thinking that we'll go to 6 in India, and in US they had already announced, the Fed had announced. So it's just a cautious announcement.
हाँ, that is just ये जब जाएगा जब ही होगा, नहीं तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला. You just see this chart and you can predict the interest rate. I have never been wrong in 10 years to predict a Fed rate. Because I just follow this and decide, and I see this and I can know more or less, we can understand what India will do also.
Right. Correct.
So अगर यही रह जाता है 5.12 तो हो सकता है और इंटरेस्ट रेट नहीं बढ़ा.
That'll be such a respite. Yeah.
And Shailesh, how did you come to know it would be 0.5 or 0.75? For example, the Fed which is increased right now.
Because that day, the day meeting जिस दिन हो रही थी उस दिन 1.87 का हाई बना दिया था.
Oh.
And market was at 1. तुमको मालूम है 0.75 तो बढ़ाई गई.
Oh. अगर नहीं उस दिन बढ़ता तब 1.65.
अगर वो 1.65 रहता तो 0.50 ही बढ़ा.
समझ गया.
अब जो अगर आप 2 करना है उसको तो the market, the interest rate has to be 2.10.
Okay.
अगर उसको 0.5 बढ़ाना है तो market has to be 2.35 in US. Then only they will increase the 0.50.
Okay, so next time if it is 2.10, for
then
example,
they will only increase by 0.25.
That's all.
That's
But
it.
the market is saying it will increase by 0.75.
Forget the market यार. तेरे को मैं बता रहा हूँ तू एक साल फॉलो करते बोले मेरे को किसी का दरकार ही नहीं. I don't want to see any TV. I have my own knowledge.
चलो, I have to start it.
10 years. This is 10 years. I have doing it. I have never faulted. Because research paper ही भेज दो ना. Research paper है क्या देखना. Tim Woods on Fed rate. मिलता है तो मैं आपको 50 साल का रिसर्च ही भेज देता हूँ.
अच्छा शैलेश, I have a question. July 27th is the next Fed meet. ठीक है, अभी जून चल रहा है. अब अपने ये यील्ड इसको फॉलो करते हैं डेली. अगर ये नहीं बढ़ता है जुलाई 20-21 तारीख तक यही घूमता है तो मतलब फेड बढ़ाएगा नहीं, 0.25 ही बढ़ेगा. तो बेसिकली बाजार में तो अच्छा बाइंग आ जाएगा यहाँ
बाइंग
से।
में बाइंग नेक्स्ट वीक ही आ जाएगा, 21 जुलाई के लिए वेट नहीं करेगा,
हाँ
वो अभी बाइंग आ जाएगा। अगर जिस हिसाब से गिरा है ना 0.157,
हाँ
एक और बता देता हूँ, अगर ये 1.40 हो गया
हाँ,
तो 0.2 में घटा देगा।
घटा देगा।
हाँ, अगर ये 1.40 हो गया तो।
बट इन्फ्लेशन फिगर से नहीं चलेगा वो कुछ
अरे तो
भी।
इन्फ्लेशन फिगर ऑलरेडी टैंडम है, मतलब इन्फ्लेशन गिर ही रहा है ऑलरेडी।
अच्छा 1.40 अगर हो गया तो you mean to say
This chart gives you the current assessment. You know the economy by seeing this chart on a daily basis. You don't need to wait for the Fed rate.
अच्छा चलो ग्रेट, दिस इज फैंटास्टिक यार। मतलब दिस इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर देन एक्चुअली स्पीकिंग।
अभी तो मैं इंटरेस्ट रेट डिजाइन बोल रहा हूँ, सबसे पहले तो मैं इसी से स्टार्ट किया था।
हाँ राइट।
It's good people are understanding, you know. So you know that the maximum he can increase it by 0.20. सदा बढ़ाएगा नहीं इंडिया में भी, because 5.12 है।
चलो ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रेट। मतलब 4.9 का बेंचमार्क अभी चल रहा है, तो ये 5.12 तो 0.2 हो गया। ये जितना बढ़ेगा उतना बढ़ाएगा,
जितना बढ़ा ही नहीं सकता है।
हाँ समझ गया।
अरे RBI cannot increase than the market rate यार।
Got it, I got it, I got it.
अरे मार्केट रेट 5.12 है, थोड़ी RBI उसमें बढ़ा देगा।
हाँ सही बात है, बढ़ा ही नहीं सकते, ठीक बात है। And same thing goes for the Fed also, you say.
Same, this is for all countries. Any country का आप 3 मंथ लगा लो, उसका जो बैंक इंटरेस्ट रेट 3 मंथ को फॉलो करता है।
ठीक बात।
देखिए जब ये गिरा था ना इतना जोर से, ये जो गिरा था, जब भी तो मार्केट में तेजी आई थी।
राइट।
See the way the interest rate had fallen.
करेक्ट करेक्ट। हाँ एकदम, जहां से बढ़ना चालू हुआ वहीं से उल्टा रिवर्स हुआ है ऑलमोस्ट।
जब से बढ़ रहा है बाजार गिर रहा है। देखिए इसका डेट क्या था, कब बढ़ा था?
अक्टूबर 21 से बाजार गिर रहा है अभी, कॉन्स्टेंट।
अक्टूबर से ब्रेकआउट हुआ।
व्हाट इज द डेट विकास ये वाला, कब ब्रेकआउट हुआ था?
ये रहा 26 अक्टूबर।
26 अक्टूबर को ब्रेकआउट हुआ, उस दिन से बाजार गिर रहा है। देखिए
हाँ देख,
और रेट उसके बाद बढ़ा है।
26
रेट तो बहुत बाद में बढ़ा है।
अरे 26 अक्टूबर को एक बार इंटरेस्ट रेट का ब्रेकआउट हुआ डेली चार्ट में, और बाजार गिरने लग गए।
तो टोटली रिलेटेड है इधर तो यार।
सिर्फ 3 महीना का इंटरेस्ट रेट देखिए आप, बाजार का कभी भी मंदी मिस नहीं करेंगे, कभी तेजी मिस नहीं करेंगे।
वाह, वेरी नाइस।
गौतम जी,
नो सीरियसली समथिंग न्यू, मतलब समथिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। ये बॉटम कब बना है? बॉटम देखना है जो उसका दिखा रहे हैं,
वो तो
कौन सा दिन था?
उसका 20 अक्टूबर, ये 20 अप्रैल
वहीं से चेंज हुआ था
2020।
तो वहीं से तो बाजार चला है।
और क्या, वहीं से तो बाजार चलेगा ऑब्वियसली।
हाँ तो एकदम मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है कि तो निफ्टी का इनवर्स चार्ट है। ग्रेट,
ऐसे ही काम करता है पूरा इंटरेस्ट रेट।
वेरी गुड वेरी गुड। तो वी शुड फॉलो दिस यूएस या इंडिया, या दोनों सेम ही है?
दोनों सेम ही चलेगा ऑलवेज। अगर दोनों एक साथ नहीं चल रहा तो बाजार नहीं गिरेगा। बाजार गिरेगा जब दोनों सेम तरीके से वर्क करेगा।
समझ गए।
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's a nice comparison.
Yeah, exactly.
ये पढ़ा था, बाजार बढ़ता रहा, जस्ट सी। अब ये बढ़ने लग गया, बाजार गिरने लग गया। So 3 month is the most important chart, everybody, because 3 month is your lending rate जिसमें रोज ट्रेडिंग हो रहा है मार्केट में। All the short term borrowings happen on this rate only. So the RBI, Fed, any Bank of England, Euro Bank, everybody follows 3 month of their country only.
Very nice, sir. Thank you.
So good friends, 7 o'clock. I hope you learned, and we'll connect tomorrow. We'll connect the strategies. Any final questions, anybody?
Shailesh, for tomorrow, can we do some cash flow stuff? Cash flow तो हुआ नहीं है proper, मतलब
कैश फ्लो क्या करना है आपको बताइए।
मतलब आई वांटेड टू लाइक, अगर कल करेंगे ये कैश फ्लो का पूरा स्टेटमेंट खोल के, जैसे जो रिजल्ट आता है समझो एनएससी वेबसाइट पे फॉर एग्जांपल, ठीक है, इफ यू ओपन इट एंड वहां पे कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट रहता है, इफ यू कैन डिकोड फॉर 5-10 मिनट्स इट वुड बी रियली हेल्पफुल यार।
ठीक है, तो हम देखते हैं if I can spend some time.
Yeah, and one more thing, if it's convenient to you and everyone else, can we do it, say 11:30, 12? पूछ रहा हूँ. अगर 5 बजे नहीं करे?
नहीं वो टाइम चेंज नहीं करते, वो गड़बड़ हो
अच्छा, ठीक है, तो 5 to 7 ही है ना? ठीक है, okay. That's
Shailesh, one question.
Yes, please.
This Share India, I was a little, I am a little extended. I have some exposure on it. So Share India, other than the individual retail customers, they also do some arbitrage and other things, no?
They only do arbitrage.
They don't have any retail.
99% business is arbitrage only.
So will this fall in retail participation impact them?
No, they're not going to impact anything. They are into arbitrage.
Arbitrage. Because you were saying that many of the retail brokers.
99% business is arbitrage, and what happens is that last 3 months arbitrage is not done well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so that is option
Yes.
arbitrage or what
Option
is
arbitrage. Option arbitrage.
it? Option arbitrage.
Last
So
few days
three-
there's some correction in the share price.
Yeah, it may happen. It depends.
But Share India is not a bias for you after the phenomenal results.
July results will be bad. I'll try to buy after July.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
और small cap
Thank
करेंगे क्या? Small cap micro.
वो देखेंगे, हम लोग कल देखेंगे small cap micro कर पाएंगे.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.